mom who told me not to feed the starving kid ended up trying to steal from him 4 days later. I was volunteering as a student teacher for the 6th grade field trip when everything went wrong on the bus ride home. The scholarship student Dylan sat in the front while all the rich kids clustered in the back, laughing and making jokes about him. Did you see his shoes? One kid whispered loudly. My dad says his mom cleans houses, another added. Dylan probably doesn't even have a dad, Mrs. Bryant's daughter announced, making everyone giggle. I stood up from my seat. Hey, that's enough. Let's be kind to each other. Mrs. Bryant rolled her eyes from her seat. Oh, relax. Kids will be kids. Maybe if he wasn't so weird, they'd actually like him. The other parents nodded along, smirking. Dylan just stared out the window, pretending not to hear any of it. That's when we entered the mountain tunnel, and a massive rumbling sound shook the entire bus. All the kids screamed as rocks crashed down behind us and in front of us, filling the tunnel with dust. When it cleared, we were trapped, both ends completely blocked by giant rubble. The driver tried his radio. No signal. Same with our phones. Don't panic, Mrs. Bryant announced. They'll have us out in an hour. But an hour passed, then 3. By evening, the kids were getting hungry. That's when Mrs. Bryant pulled out the leftover pizza boxes from lunch. She started handing them out to each kid, skipping right over Dylan. Wait, I said. Dylan needs to eat too. He didn't pay for the field trip lunch, she said flatly. No payment, no food. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Are you serious? We're trapped and you're worried about $5? I grabbed a slice and held it out to Dylan. Mrs. Bryant slapped it out of my hand. I said no. Everyone else's parents paid. Why should he get special treatment? The other parents backed her up, crossing their arms. Dylan pulled out his backpack with water bottles, baby carrots, and crackers. It's okay, ma'am. I have my own food. The group quickly divided into 2. All the rich kids and parents on one side, me, Dylan, and the driver on the other. The rich kids brought out chips, candy, soda, played on their phones to fill up the time while the parents insisted that they'd be out of here soon. But they were wrong. Hours passed and we were still stuck. We didn't even hear drilling until day 2. But even then, we knew they were having trouble clearing the unstable rubble. By then, fights were starting to break out between the kids and parents who had failed to ration their resources. Mrs. Bryant kept insisting rescue was coming any minute while her daughter whined about wanting her phone charger. By day 3, the kids were too hungry and tired to cry or even move. Just as hope started dying out, Dylan stood up and opened his backpack and started carefully dividing out everything he had into smaller portions. He walked around, passing them to each of his classmates. We can make this last. 6 bites and 2 sips per day, he said quietly. I watched these spoiled kids who'd mocked him for not having pizza suddenly look at him with respect, listening to his advice. But just as things started looking up, on day 4 of being trapped, Dylan developed a fever. Everyone could hear how hard he was breathing. Let's take his rations, Mrs. Bryant suggested with a grin. He's not going to make it anyway. The rest of us need to survive. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. But what happened next shocked me even more. Every single kid stood up between them, glaring at her. He saved us, one little girl shouted. He shared everything he had when you wouldn't even give him pizza, another kid added. You're a bad person, one of her own daughters agreed. Other parents joined while the rest shook their heads in disgust and told her to give it a rest. Mrs. Bryant's face turned bright red even in the dim lighting. Have you all lost your mind? He gave you a few drops of water and now you're on his side? Oh yeah? And what did you give us? Nothing, I challenged. Her mouth hung open then quickly closed when she couldn't argue back anymore. Once she moved away, all the kids went back to their rations and started offering up tiny portions to Dylan. One girl even gave him her last crackers. I spent the next few hours using wet fabric to cool his fever with the extra water they all gave, and the kids took turns napping, making sure some stayed awake to watch over Dylan. That's when light broke through. Rescue workers peered in and ready to carry us out one by one, but the kids refused to move until Dylan was out first. But the moment we were out, Mrs. Bryant cornered me. This isn't over, she hissed. But she didn't know that a war with me now meant a war with the whole class. Full story on channel linked below.